Overcrowding, police conduct and systemic injustice are all once again under the spotlight in Australia's north, as three separate but deeply connected stories unfold. In the Northern Territory, experts are sounding the alarm over the severe overcrowding crisis in prisons and watch houses where the majority of detainees are Indigenous and many remain legally innocent on remand. In Western Australia, disturbing footage has emerged showing Broome woman Karina Sebastian collapsing during a police encounter, reigniting concerns over the treatment of Aboriginal people in custody. Meanwhile, NT Police have launched an urgent search for Ralph Amatol, a 31-year-old man missing from the remote Nama outstation near Whadjuk, raising fears for his safety. Together, these stories expose the urgent need for accountability, justice reform, and culturally safe approaches to policing and incarceration across remote Australia. More of that later. Hi, I'm Leanne Djilandi Dolby, and this is the National Indigenous Times Daily News Bulletin for the 17th of July 2025. Western Australian police are once again facing public and internal scrutiny after a video surfaced on social media showing Broome woman Karina Sebastian falling backward during an interaction with a police officer. Shows the officer extending an arm toward Miss Sebastian just before she collapses on the ground. The officer then stands over her as another person rushes to check on her well-being. Miss Sebastian, a grandmother and local worker, told the ABC that she had earlier been celebrating a family member's birthday when she was attacked by two women. She said she managed to escape and used her phone to call the police, but does not recall what happened next. WA Police have confirmed that the matter is being investigated by Internal Affairs Unit, which has been sent to Broome. Kimberley Police Acting Superintendent Matt Garnott said the incident is under active investigation and that determining what led to Miss Sebastian's fall is a part of that process. This latest incident comes amid ongoing crisis of WA Police over their treatment of Aboriginal people, particularly in remote regions. In February, another video circulated showing a police officer forcefully pushing down an elderly Indigenous man to the ground at Broome's Male Oval. The Northern Territory is facing a deepening prison overcrowding crisis, with more than 70 correctional prisoners being held in the Palmerston Police Watch House, despite the CLP government's earlier pledge to end the practice. New figures show that 2,842 people are currently incarcerated in the NT, a rise of over 600 since the CLP took power. Alarmingly, nearly 90% of the prisoners are Indigenous and almost half are on remand, which means that they're still legally innocent and are awaiting trial. Experts, advocates and political leaders have voiced strong concerns. Federal Minister for Indigenous Australians, Mullindiri McCarthy, said the overuse of bail refusals and lengthy remand periods is driving the crisis and disproportionately impacting First Nations people. The NT Police Union described the situation as officially out of control and warned that a serious custody incident is inevitable if the issue is not addressed. Conditions inside the detention facilities have been described as inhumane. One former Palmerston detainee reported that up to 8 women were crammed in a single cell, denied access to showers, even while menstruating. Similar conditions were documented in Alice Springs earlier this year, with over 20 women packed in a cell, no access to clean water except a fixture above the toilet. The National Network of Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls reported disturbing accounts of poor hygiene, lack of food, and prolonged delays in accessing basic facilities during their recent prison visits. Since taking office, the CLP has implemented policies widely criticised as regressive, including lowering the bail of criminal responsibility from 12 to 10 and tightening bail laws, measures that experts say disproportionately affect Aboriginal people. These reforms have led to more people being incarcerated without conviction and without adequate facilities to house them. Independent MP Yingia Mark Guyala has appealed to the First Nations, urging the Special Rapporteur on the rights of Indigenous peoples to investigate the dire conditions, which he says includes sleep deprivation, overcrowding and unsanitary environments. Despite mounting evidence and national outrage, the NT government has pushed ahead with punitive reforms, including new legislation to limit access to youth diversion programs. Deputy Chief Minister and Corrections Minister Gerard Maley defended the watch house use, claiming there were no other options and said individuals need to take more personal responsibility, prompting further criticism from human rights advocates and legal professionals. And finally, the Northern Territory Police have launched a search for 31-year-old Ralph Amatol, who was last seen around 10 a.m. on Monday, 14th of July 2025, walking away from Nama Station, roughly 40 kilometres from the remote community Whadjuk. He was wearing dark jeans and a green sleeveless top at the time. The search has been coordinated by NT Police's Search and Rescue Station, With the help from local police, the anti-emergency services, and local rangers, authorities and Mr. Amitol's family are deeply concerned for his welfare and are urging anyone with information to come forward to contact police on 131 444. And that's today's Daily News Roundup from the National Indigenous Times. For more news, head to nit.com.au and please sign up for our free newsletter.